Widefield Community Park in South Colorado Springs. It's in a public park here, so no fees or anything like that. It's always a plus. Runs along a creek, the front and back nine in opposite directions, and you'll see that it's kind of in a narrow footprint, but I think they did a pretty good job of what they had to work with. So let's get right into it. Yeah, hole one, 400 feet right off the bat. It's got a new tee pad. Used to be a little shorter and a more up front. The only thing you've got in the way of you is basically that one tree to the right. There's no guardian trees, so it's kind of a dream to open up and get that arm loosened up. It's made for forehand or backhand, flippy, stable, whatever. I kind of like stable discs, so I tend to open up with that, and I really like this Mamba. I'll be throwing a Mamba and an Excalibur today, so I'll be putting with a ABR X3. Almost got all of that, but not a terrible first shot. By the way, I'm going to be filming everything to the long position that was there that day, and some of the shots are going to not line up with my drone footage because they moved the baskets, because I filmed drone footage a day later and they just happened to move the baskets, so not a big deal. You'll see some more hole locations that way. Yeah, 49 on this hole too. Pretty difficult for a backhand player in my opinion, because you've really got to execute something that has an early low canopy. You're going to see that. You got to be able to flip it up just right. Forehand player's dream right here though. Still a tight gap. Even forehand players could really screw this up. Yep, maybe RX3. This tree on the right really got to me. I was trying to avoid it. I didn't get quite the flip I wanted here. Kind of stabled up a little early. Yeah, but we cleaned that up though. Alright, hole 3 coming up is the first one that had a discrepancy from the day I shot footage of me slinging the disc and the day I took drone footage. So you'll see the difference here. In the drone footage, it's going to show you the basket off in the left position. There's actually one further to the left, I think. I've played this course once or twice before, but it happened to be in this position day for the drone though. Yeah, you'll see it's more off to the right here, more straight up on this basket position. 375, not too bad if you just flip it up and let it glide. I kind of let it glide a little too far there, flipped it up a little too much. But you can see it's a well manicured course. It looks really nice. In certain holes you can see the mountains of the front range there. Yeah, not too good at circle one putt, or the edge of circle one putts yet. I'm trying to work on that, but alright, this hole is really good for something stable that you can throw neutral for quite a bit and let it stable up at the end, unless you've got just a massive arm and you can throw it just completely to the sky and sky hyzer it in here. Like I said, I like to throw a flippy disc, but I threw both. So I started off with the Excalibur and got it a little too high and wide right for my arm. Back to that bread and butter. Yeah, I was throwing this disc pretty well today. But hey, I might as well show you both shots and go for both baskets. This one I kind of show you the short basket and the long basket. Why not?
ABR X3, easy enough.
tell you those limbs really screwed me up. A little more distance on that would have been nice. But you can kind of see the creek off to the left there. The higher brush, it's kind of marking where the creek is. This is another one where the basket position ended up being different the days I filmed drone and when I took my shots, but you'll see in a minute it's off to the left here, short next to the creek. But today it was in the very long position. This spot that we're zooming in on now actually happens to be hole 6's basket some days. You want to hit that gap right here that we flew through. Flip this one a little too much. Yeah, too high. Too high on this one. You want to be about 15 feet lower. Oh, that was killer.
Oh my God, that was.
I couldn't believe it. It looked in the whole way. Would have been a birdie bird. Okay, yeah, you can see the basket that I had in the drone footage before, which is this particular day that I shot my shots was the basket for 6, but now this one was for 6 here. A little confusing, but you'll see. What are you doing? Really screwed that shot up. Alright, we're going to pull the Excalibur out and try to show you a better line. The line I'm going to show you here, you want to go, you really need to get the distance correct. This was a really good path, just did not carry quite enough to get around that tree. Kind of clunked it there. Honestly, not a bad recovery there, just a little deep. I pulled all my distances, by the way, off of Google Earth, so sometimes I find that like UDisc or other places just don't quite add up to what it seems to be, so I'm just pulling it off the map to make it as accurate as possible. This is a really cool hole. It's a really good opportunity for someone that throws a flippy disc to get it up, have it flip a little late, and then stable up a little late to settle in here. You got that creek on the left side that's just dangerous. All you gotta do is hit a tree the wrong way and you're done. Got a really friendly bounce there. Should have thrown my Excalibur there, but I'll be real, I completely forgot. What made that last shot kind of difficult, and good grief, we've all been there with that and that. What made that last approach shot difficult was that canopy was kind of low. Hole 8, I think I say in the video out loud that it's 150, but I measured it, it's 225. Again, you know, you got this creek on the left. You're really risking it throwing anything stable here, but I just did anyway and kind of lucked out. You don't want to go long either because the creek's right behind there.
This one's pretty straight on. I'm gonna use the ABR X3. See if I can glide it in. Very short, it's like 150 feet.
That barely settled up, so you'll see how close I was to the creek. Yeah, boy. .340 on hole 9. There's a lot of trees in the way. You really have to hit your gaps right. This whole, you know, this whole back area for the next probably 5 holes or so, it's tough sledding with all this stuff in the way. I really don't quite hit my lines here, but kind of recovered nice anyway. I think you can kind of see the opening here that you want to hit, but you want to stay away from left because obviously the creek's there. Yeah, just too high. I was throwing high a lot today. That needs to get down too. If those 2 shots got down, it would glide up pretty well. There's a short basket in red right there to the left of me. I don't know what the heck that leg kick was. I was doing that a lot today, but I think it was kind of screwing me up. Yeah, that's the path you want to take. You want to glide in just like that off the tee. All right, on to the back 9. We're getting ready to make a hairpin turn in a minute and head the other direction. This one, I think it stays mostly in this position for the long. The last time or 2 I've been here, it's been in this spot, so I'm not sure where the other spots are for this. I didn't really ask anybody. This course also, by the way, tends to have some really cool people you run into. Pretty good personalities. Again, with the high stuff. Yeah, super short there. Super short. Didn't show the putt there. Believe it or not, I made the putt. All right, hole 11. I was really kind of worried about these dogs. They kept crossing paths with me. They were pretty friendly dogs, though. About destroyed the drone right there. Good job. And completely just yeeted this to the left. Really was not happy with that, so I wanted to take a right hand shot there. And I'll tell you, like, the real danger in this course is there are a lot of neighborhoods very tightly to the left or right of you. Oh, so close. And you'll lose this because
sometimes
most of these people aren't going to give you the disc back. They're kind of quite tired of people throwing it in their backyard. Some of them will, and then you don't want to jump in someone's backyard anyway that hasn't told you it's cool to do that. Plus there's dogs, so this is a really neat hole, but it's got a lot of really guardian trees, and it's pretty deep. 490 through all these trees. Try to destroy the drone again. Oh, par 34. Look at that. Now it's par 4. Par 4. Mostly because of the trees here. And again, you know, just yeeted it one more time to the left. This kind of turned out okay there. I thought I was good there. I thought I had made a great shot. No. This is what you're going to do a lot of on this course, to be honest with you. I got lucky that I didn't do that more often, but that creek eats those discs. Fun times. Yeah, hole 13 is another one that the basket was in a different place here. And you'll see where I threw it in a minute. It's more off to the right. But again, you get to see another location in case you want to go to this course you've never been. I've never thrown in this position, so. Yeah, the basket here is a little left of that tree I just threw behind. Really need to work on my putting, but not terrible attempts, just, oh, and these guys
boys.
Hole 14, you kind of have to tuck it behind this grouping of trees in this position. It's like maybe 30 feet behind here. You also want to watch out for people walking. There's a lot of people that walk through here. Just FYI on that. That actually turned out okay. I thought I had yanked it, but it turned out fine. I thought I was going to get cute here and sneak one between the trees. Not quite. Hey, what do you know, we made one. Hole 15, about 313. I wasn't quite sure. I kind of did as best I could in Google Maps to sort of pinpoint it. Really a lot of options here. You can come a couple of different directions, forehand or backhand. Clink. I really like this hole. It gives you an opportunity to open it up again. It's sort of a reprieve from all the trees you've dealt with. At least like early trees or anything like that. So you can kind of open it up. I also believe that the basket was in a slightly different position from when I threw it or took this, drone footage. But still, you'll get the idea. There's the creek right there. Yanked it. Still stabled up though. Probably my second best shot of the day. Flipped it up a little bit here. You really got to be careful not to hit that big oak on the left there. It's a really common thing to hit. Basically just going to lay this one up and then just tap that in. Okay, hole 17. When I threw this hole, I thought this basket in front of me was the only basket. It is not. There's a longer one. And I think sometimes there's a longer one just under where the camera is now. But like I said, I thought this was the basket, so... Yeah, you're reading that right. Banger. Woo! Yes, sir, that one felt good. It had been about a month since I had one of those. This is a tradition here, in case you don't know. You get your disc signed. These guys are pretty funny. Good personalities on them. A little back and forth. Love it.
Did you pick disc golf over regular golf?
Okay, so I played regular golf my whole life, but then I got sick and tired of wasting $62 in 4.5 hours.
I love it. Big facts. Hey, that brings us to hole 18 that in the drone footage was in a super long position. The day I threw it was a little shorter, so you'll see that. Creek off to the left there. Real easy to throw into that creek. This was a pretty windy day, by the way, too, so I had some difficulty dealing with that. It's kind of windy in Colorado. You can get some pretty blustery days. Yeah, 605 is what I measured. I think UDIS says something shorter, but I still measured 605 on Google Maps. About 378 or 380 to the basket I threw to. This really actually flipped up pretty nicely for me right around those trees.
Live.
And thanks to Isaac here, got a shout out to Isaac. He filmed this for me. Completely ran out of footage on my own camera, and I appreciate him for doing that. So yeah, this course, overall it's kind of narrow. It doesn't seem like there's too much traffic where you have to wait a lot. I've got my ratings here. I've got 4 different things we're going to go through. 4.5 out of 5 for accessibility, right next to a highway. You do have to go through a neighborhood, which is why I didn't give it a 5. Design about a 3, scenery 3.5, mainly because of the mountains. Really didn't seem like there was too many people on it, so I gave it a 4 out of 5 for a 3.75 overall. So for a public course, absolutely you're going to want to stop by and check this one out. And hey, by the way, we're going to do Pueblo City Park next, so be on the lookout for that video.